This is Lachlan Murdoch of the Murdochs that brought you Fox News. He's about to tell you the truth about what conservative media really is about, as well as liberal media. Tim Pool, Steven Crowder, Blaze TV, Ben Shapiro, CNN, MSNBC, The Young Turks, David Pakman, Ring of Fire. What are they really about? Listen closely. Mr. Murdoch just said that MSNBC was operating in opposition of Donald Trump. Then they said this.
They're in sort of loyal opposition, right? They called out the president when he needed to be called out.
So this is a network that Tim Pool says is a pretty good network, especially some of the opinion shows. This network is saying essentially that MSNBC was correct to call out Trump. They're saying they called out Trump when he needed to be called out. This is the guy on top of Fox News saying that MSNBC was correct in calling out Trump when he needed to be called out. However, if Tim Pool even talks about this, which I doubt he will, I guarantee you he's going to spin it. Probably use it to take a swing at cable news and why you should listen to independents like Tim Pool, because they don't do stuff like this. Right.
That's what our job is now, with the Biden administration, and you'll see our ratings, really improve from here, and we'll do so for at least the next 4 years.
So their job is to be in opposition to Joe Biden, not to be honest, not to inform their viewers about what's really happening. Their job is to be opposition to Joe Biden. So that means if Joe Biden does a great job, it'll be their job to make it seem like it's not. Can't be in opposition to someone if you don't call them out. So if they're doing a great job, that means you gotta talk about tan suits or the Fox. Rick?
Fox News as a journalist now for several months, and what I'm hearing from Fox News insiders say is that Fox News' CEO Suzanne Scott is little more than a figurehead, that Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan are steering the ship, and that Suzanne Scott is quote-unquote a good soldier to the Murdochs. She listens to what they say, she executes their orders, just as she did quote-unquote for Roger Ailes. We've seen recently in January what was called an ideological purge of fact-based journalism by staffers inside of Fox News on the digital side. So they feel as though they're being very controlled and that there's been a larger pundit to go more into right-wing opinion programming.
Very much focus on the center right. We think that's where America is. 75 million people voted for a Republican president. Sometimes in spite of his his personality at times.
Notice how he stumbled on that. Trying to put it lightly. His personality at times. Nice job.
And so they believe in those politics, and they feel strongly about those political and policy positions, and that's what we represent.
Mr. Murdoch saying the quiet parts out loud, right? This is the behind the scenes, what we would never hear publicly, most likely, about Tim Pool, Steven Crowder, Blaze TV, The Young Turks, David Pakman, Brian Tyler Cohen, Newsmax, AONN, CNN, and MSNBC. Please place all of these entities on one equal playing field. They may differ in various ways, but one thing is common among all of them. They're all businesses. They're not in the business of informing us. They're not in the business of telling us the news. They're in the business of selling ads. That's where the money comes from. Not from you, not from informing you. All of these entities I just mentioned make money from advertisers. The way they do so, what the advertisers want, right? Essential component of any business is to serve your customers, right? To deliver value to your customers. The customer is not you. You're not paying for this news, right? The advertisers are. What do the advertisers want? What service and value are they seeking? Are they seeking for you to be informed by the Young Turks, by David Pakman, by Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro? No. The advertisers could care less about what you're being informed about. What they want is your eyeballs and ultimately your money. So all they care about is how many views can you get from what demographic. The advertisers have a demographic that they're targeting to sell their products to. So if you want to be successful, you want to maximize the demographic that the advertisers will pay you to be able to target. So Tim Pool, it doesn't really do him any good to be honest about Donald Trump, to be honest about the Republican Party, to be honest about the right, to be honest about a lot of things. It doesn't do CNN much good to be honest about the Democratic Party, to be honest about Joe Biden, to be honest about these establishment Democrats. Doesn't do MSNBC any good to do that. Same thing for the Young Turks. All of these businesses target a particular demographic. They target a demographic to be able to make money from the advertisers who would like to sell products to these demographics. That's what it amounts to. And we really need to understand this as we consume media from these entities. Understand that there's a conflict of interest in them being nonpartisan, objective, and truth or fact-based. Sometimes facts are convenient. Like, for example, facts about Jacob Blake are convenient for conservative media. Facts about the attack on the Capitol are not. So they spend a lot of time talking about Jacob Blake, and then they ignore the Capitol attack. Facts about Donald Trump are convenient for liberal media. CNN, MSNBC, the Young Turks. So they'll tell you. Some of them will even tell you some stuff that are beyond what's happening with Donald Trump. Getting into speculation and rumor and conspiracy theory, right? However, facts about Black Lives Matter and Antifa, not so convenient. Not for the demographic that they are trying to maximize their profits, which is ultimately the principal theory or purpose of any business, to maximize profit. Know that the media you consume is not incentivized to tell you the truth, unless the truth aligns with a narrative that they choose to sell you. If you're in a liberal-leaning channel, it's a very profitable and popular to talk about racism. So something may happen that has nothing to do with racism, but if you can make it appear as if it does, you can make money from it. And again, that's what businesses exist for, to make money. Cancel culture, very profitable on the right. So as Americans die and starve, it's profitable for you to spend time focused on cancel culture. Cancel culture. It's profitable to talk about Mr. Potato Head. It's profitable to talk about Mandalorian. It's profitable to talk about Coca-Cola because you have an audience that you know you can get them all jazzed up over these much less priority issues. But you don't want to talk about Mitch McConnell's wife having a tie to the Communist Party. That wouldn't be profitable, so let's just suppress that. Let's not talk about it at all. You wouldn't want to talk about AOC donating $5 million to Republicans in Texas. That goes against your narrative. It doesn't serve a profit agenda to talk about that. So let's just nuke the story. Joe Biden had a Chinese friend in 1975. Maybe we should look into that. Could be juicy. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just seen the truth revealed. This is what's really going on in our news media today. Whether it's liberal media, conservative media, corporate, or independent. With few exceptions. My subscribers know I highly recommend you take a look at Rising. They're not perfect. No one is. I shouldn't have to say that, but unfortunately I do. One of the most objective sources of news that I've seen. If you really want a corporate source, from what I've seen, ABC seems to be one of the better ones. But ultimately, I think we all should be consuming 3 to 4 different sources. Some on the right, some on the left, some corporate, and some independent. Unfortunately, we're in a country in crisis, and many people are going to not have the time to really spend and consuming all these different sources and spending time to think about what's true and what's not true and filtering through. I can do my best to help in that part, but I'm a small channel, a small voice. I guess ultimately we need more Rising shows. What do you think? This is the Debate Me channel. Debate Me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. And now I'm going to get to work. Now it's time to get to work. Shout out to Harry Knack and Lindsay. I don't know what happened to Alan. Hope he's all right. But I'm going to get to work. By the way, I might have some good news. Fingers crossed tomorrow about my little jobby job situation. And that'll be awesome for us all, because one of the things I want to heavily invest in is growing this channel. And I really want to see if we can wake up a lot more people into realizing the truth about how politics works in this country, and get, destroy partisanship. Get these people out of these tribal camps. Abandon the Republican Party. Abandon the Democratic Party. Let's all join the party of the United States of America, right? Let's all unite and fight for what we, the people in this country, strongly need. And let's stop being manipulated by these opportunists and elite class who are constantly pushing the narrative that they want for their agendas, for their accumulation of wealth. It's time the American people stand up and take charge of our country. This is a democratic republic, power of the people, but our power is useless unless we realize that we even have this power. And I want to help to inform people, more people, about the realities that we do have tremendous power. But the power does nothing if we don't use it. Voting is not enough. You've got to hold the people you vote for accountable. That's a key message here. And if you support that, support the channel, subscribe, smash that bell, tell a friend. This is Debate Me.